What are inexpensive ways to stay top of mind with your clients during the holiday season? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your real estate bestie, and today we are going to talk about basically, y'all, balling on a budget. How do you stay top of mind and even gift your clients this holiday season when you don't have a huge budget to do so? Before I get into this episode though, if you have never reviewed the podcast or given us a thumbs up on YouTube, I'm going to invite you to do that right now, friend, because that is how we get Real Estate Bestie in front of even more real estate besties. And from the bottom of my heart, I just appreciate y'all for just rocking with me, how you rock with me, how you rock with the Real Estate Bestie community. I'm just always excited on what we are building together. And I hope that this episode, like everyone else, is just helpful to you. So let's talk about how to gift your clients on a budget. So first things first. 2023, while I know that a lot of real estate agents have thrived in this market, in the shift of market, listen, the majority of agents, this was a much tougher year. And some of the more elaborate things that maybe you've been able to do in previous years just are not in the cards, okay? So first of all, I want to free you from that because literally, it's the thought that counts. I can think of, I was just telling my team the other day that, I've done a lot of like really big client events, but I've done just small things like a handwritten card or something like that. And I will still have a client like send me a picture of a card that I sent them and just tell them like how this just means the world to them, and they still keep it right in front of them. So I don't want the fact that maybe your budget is a little smaller this year to limit you from doing anything, because the holidays are just a great time to just spread love, spread cheer, and to stay top of mind. So let's talk about a couple ways that I think that you can do that. So first and foremost, I think about 2 years ago, I started sending my clients my actual Christmas card that I make with my family. I do a Christmas card every single year. I put a little note on the back of the card, a little recap of the year. And it dawned on me that, you know what? I am literally in it to build relationships. If anyone has ever worked with me to buy or sell a home, I tell them in our very first meeting, like, you're stuck with me. I'm your homegirl and your real estate bestie for life. And I am invested in their families. And you know what? I'm okay with opening the door so they know a little bit about mine. So when I send out my normal Christmas cards to my friends and family, I extend that to anyone who has closed a home with me, quite honestly, ever. So I just use my CRM. I have their addresses because I sold them a house, and I include them in that Christmas card giveaway. And not only is that just a nice gesture, but what do most people do with their Christmas cards? They display them, right? They display them somewhere in their home for some period of time. So now you literally are like, definitely top of mind, because when they walk past or when people say, well, who is this lady? Oh, that's my real estate agent. So you just never know what type of conversations will come from that. So don't be afraid to add them to your Christmas card list. And, if you do it early, there are definitely a lot of different places. I've ordered cards from Costco, from Walmart, things like that. And literally, it just was not a huge, huge expense. And I'm going to encourage you to do that. The next thing that I think that you can do is something that I alluded to in the beginning of this episode, was that don't be afraid to send a handwritten note. So sending a handwritten note just to say, hey, I hope that you all have a great holiday season. I just want to tell you that I'm thankful for you, or whatever sentiment that you can add. If they have closed a home this year, you can actually reference the fact that, this is the first year that they're going to be home in the holiday season, and how much joy it brings you to know that you had a part in helping them. Or if this is the 5th year, I see that you are building your life in this home, and I'm just so grateful to see it. A handwritten note, again, goes a long way, especially in this age of like texting and social media and things like that, where people are just kind of inundated with a lot of content, but not a whole lot of connection. So doing those things that you have more direct connection, I definitely think will stand out amongst a lot of the noise that you may hear or see during the holiday season. Another thing that I'm going to recommend that you do, if you actually want to gift a gift, look, it does not have to break the bank. One of the biggest hits, and y'all, I have paid for pictures for families. I have rented out spaces. I have done like elaborate happy hours. One of the biggest hits that I've done for my clients was literally gifting them all Uno cards. There was a game called Uno Flip when it first came out. My family absolutely fell in love with it. So I just came up with like a little card stock, and I shared with my clients, you know what, I consider all of you all to be family, and I wanted to share with you a new Lewis family favorite. Please enjoy this Uno Flip card. I got so many people like calling me, texting me, sending me pictures, and even to this day, right? I did that a couple years ago, and they'll share with me like, hey, we're teaching our 3-year-old how to do Uno Flip. And again, it was inexpensive. I want to say I paid somewhere between $5 and $6 per deck of cards, but it's something that every time they pull them out, because you know you play Uno, okay? So every time they pull it out on vacation, every time they pull it out for a family game night, Rosemary then is top of mind. And not only did I share with them just a deck of cards, I shared with them something that was creating wonderful family memories for my family, and now can create family memories for theirs. Here's something else that you can do. Before, I have gone to Trader Joe's and I've gotten, a cheap bottle of champagne or a bottle of $2 Chuck, and around New Year's, I just went around and gave out a celebratory bottle of champagne or a celebratory wine or sparkling juice for those clients that I knew did not partake in alcohol. Again, something that wasn't uber expensive. Now, I did actually hand deliver these, so it gets a little tougher as your database gets larger. But when my database was smaller, that was just a nice little surprise at their doorstep. And again, it was a way to celebrate. And I actually liked that one because I wasn't rushed to do it right before Christmas, because you can celebrate the new year on January 10th, right? So I just said, hey, here's a little bit of New Year cheer. We want to keep the celebration going. And that was something that I was able to pass out to them. And then here is the final idea I'm going to share with you. It's just, how about really working on being resourceful this holiday season? So maybe you are sending a newsletter and you're letting them know about all of the cool things that are happening in the area. You're highlighting a holiday dish or a holiday recipe. If there is a local restaurant that has a limited edition of something that you think that they should know about, make sure that you are just reaching out and just having conversations, sending emails. If you want to send a postcard with just different activities, again, it's going to be something that is very inexpensive, but they're going to look to you again as the resource of things that happen in the area. So these are all things that I think that if you're balling on a budget, or if you have a higher budget, they will have a lot of impact for your clients. So definitely don't be overwhelmed if you can't do the big extravagant thing, because you know what? That's not always what stays top of mind with them anyway. Just finding different ways where you can have a personal touch will go such a long way. All right, besties, so that is the answer to our question this week. Now, if you ever have a question that you want me to answer, you know that I'm always here to help you grow your business, and I want to answer your burning question. So go ahead and hit up rosemarylewis.com/ask. I will put it right here where you are listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video. And then that way you can ask your question. You can actually even leave me a voicemail to ask a question, and I will answer it right here. I'll see you next week. Bye.